Hello, lovely YouTube followers. So on social media earlier today I said I'd try and get a live feed to you about midday. So yep, it's about midday now, so I'm just running home from an appointment in a nearby village, and I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a running tour of the absolutely beautiful snowy trails in Stamford today. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the trail that I'm running on. So this is what I'm running on. So this is the old railway line. So you can see just to my left there, that's the new railway line. So periodically trains do go past, but just look at this today. It's a footpath, free to use, and the trees are just covered in snow. Every so often the sun comes out and the blue sky is revealed behind the clouds, and the rays of the sunlight shine through the trees, and it is just spectacular. So I'm really lucky to live in a place where I can run on trails straight from my door. I know it's not the same for everybody who watches this channel. So look, there's a bit of blue sky. So Stamford, for anyone who doesn't know where that is, or that lives abroad, Stamford is a small town 2 hours north of London. It's quite near to Cambridge, which you might know is a really famous university town, about 40 minutes from Cambridge, and it's really pretty, and it's got loads of really old limestone buildings because of the quarries that are around here. So the buildings are this wonderful kind of really light yellow, sandy yellow colour, and they're very, very old as well. So Stamford grew up on the banks of the River Welland, and there's a museum all about it in Peterborough Library, which is really, really good because they've got this tapestry there, a bit like the Bayeux tapestry. The tapestry makers of Stamford all got together, and over a few years they created a tapestry of the history of Stamford. It's really, really beautiful and well worth a look if you come to visit. So so Stamford's been around for a long old time. Around, I think there's even records of it in BC, so just like more than 2,000 years ago. So that's pretty incredible. So I'm just running along this railway path, and then I'm going to turn right at a gate, and we're going to run past somebody's house by a river, and in their garden is something quite unusual. So if you've ever been to Barcelona, a bit of a snow flurry there, if you've ever been to Barcelona and seen Gaudi's work, then you'll understand what I mean. There we go, there's a train. So this, in their garden they've got this big crocodile covered in tiny different coloured pieces of porcelain and pottery, and it's very reminiscent of Gaudi's work in, say, Gwell Park. You know, there's that famous iguana which everyone has their photo with. So we'll have a look at that. It might be covered with snow, but we'll see. It's taking me longer than I thought to run this bit. But yeah, stay along for the ride, because in a few minutes we'll be crossing the bridge and over to their house to look at the sculpture in the garden. Then I'm going to take you to Stanford Priory, a ruin of old nuns' accommodation. Then I'm going to take you through Stamford town centre, past all of the shops, and then past the old bookshop, down one of the many little alleyways onto the Meadows, which is going to look spectacular if the sun comes out. The Meadows, past the River Welland, and then back up one of my favourite places in Stamford, which is just next to the Meadows. It's a collection of houses on a narrow cobbled street. It's quite steep, and then we'll go and have a look at one of my favourite views in Stamford as well, along St. Peter's Terrace. There's an information board there as well, so I'll be able to tell you more about the history of Stamford. So we're coming up now to the place where you can cross the railway. So soon it's going to be a bit more exciting than just running along this track. Stay with me. Right, so here we are at the railway crossing. There is a man right in the middle of the railway tracks, and I'm going to go through this gate. And there's some building work taking place up here as well. So usually it's really muddy through here, so the snow is actually a bit of a blessing. So look, there we go, over a nice stream. Oh, even the building site looks nice, covered in snow today. And then we're going to keep an eye out on the left as we go over this next bridge to see if we can see this Gaudi-inspired crocodile in this garden. Right, let's see. Ah, the sun's coming out. Right, here we are. He's almost totally covered in snow, but I'll see if I can zoom in. Okay, oh thank you. Somebody called Peter Gordon is saying he loves my channel and live feeds. That's really nice of you, Peter, thank you. So this is the crocodile, and it's in the garden of this old mill house just here. I'll zoom out again. Here we go. So imagine living there. That's awesome, isn't it? And this is where I get to run. So I'm really grateful for that too. Okay, so look, wow, they're working still despite the snow on this new housing estate here. So wow, even in the snow, even these grey railings look nice. So it'll take me a few minutes now to run up to the Priory. So yeah, this is what you call slow TV. So if you're having your lunch in the UK right now, or if you're just waking up over in the States and you are having a bit of breakfast, then turn onto this and maybe you'll find it a little bit inspiring for going out later on today, whatever your day holds for you. So, oh, the sun's coming out now, which is fantastic. It makes the snow really glittery. It's really beautiful. I'm glad that I remembered my sunglasses today, because yesterday I forgot them and then I came back and I had a migraine. So that wasn't very clever. So I'm just coming up for my probably 10th mile of the day now. So I'm training for a race called the Cape Wrath Ultra in May, which is 250 miles in 8 days. So here we are at the road. Now it looks like it's still snowing, but actually it's just bits of snow coming off all these trees. So you can just see it at the spindrift floating towards me. So there's Morrison's looking pretty in the snow. And look at all these little cars. They look like they're sleeping, don't they? With that covering of snow on them. And then in a couple of minutes, we'll be at the Priory, and there's an information board there that I can let you have a look at, because Stamford really is full of history as a town. It's a great place to live. It's got a really thriving arts centre as well, so there's loads of cinema and plays and art exhibitions going on. So there's Morrison's. That's where I do the weekly shop with my partner Steve. And here, coming up to the left, is the Priory, which is just opposite this Priory Court care home, which that would be a lovely one to send your relatives to, because they have a beautiful view of the Priory and really easy access to Morrison's just across the road. What more could an old person want? So, right, we're just coming up to the Priory now. So I'll just start doing a bit of a walk so you can see it a bit better. There we go. This is Stamford Priory. It's called St. Leonard's. And there is an information board and a plaque on the wall, so let's go and have a look at that. Right, so first things first, information board. So St. Leonard's Priory. So this, in a nutshell, is the remains of a 12th century priory church, and apparently it's the finest surviving example of Norman architecture in Stamford. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? So there's a legend here that it was believed that it was long associated with St. Wilfrid in the 7th century. That's really old. And then it was refounded in 1002 by William the Conqueror. Brilliant. And then after dissolution in the 16th century, the Priory buildings passed into the hands of the Cecil family, who leased them out. It became a farm. The church was converted into a barn, and everything gradually deteriorated, and it collapsed in 1833. And since the 70s, there has been little change in the appearance of the building. So that's cool, isn't it? So let's take a little walk around. See what this plaque says, shall we? So, founded by the monks of Durham in 1100. I told you this place was old. Great. So let's go through here. So for people watching, this is starting to look a bit like a Lara Croft Tomb Raider video game, isn't it? Oh, we can't go in there. That's locked. And oh, there's a window. Oh, can you see anything in there? I can just see some bricks, really. Just, yeah, it's just a room in there. Some iron pulls on. And go through here. What can we see here? Ah, so here's a house next to the Priory. Great. Cool. So some quite intricate stonework here, and some also quite intricate graffiti, which is nice. So that is St. Leonard's Priory in Stamford. So let's continue with the tour de Stamford and let's run into the city centre itself and give you a look around. So off we go. So it's probably good to tell you on the move that I'll just turn this bit around so you can take my sunglasses off. So I'm a member of the Stamford Striders, so that's the running club here in Stamford. It's a really, really good club. There were probably around 100 to 200 people turn out regularly for the Tuesday night runs, and there's also a session on a Thursday as well, which is hills. So hi there. So what Stamford lacks in hills definitely makes up for in mud, because the fields around this place are all extremely muddy. Thank you. So it's a really nice place to be though. Everybody's very keen on running in the club. There's lots of social events too. It's probably one of the friendliest clubs around, and since I've joined, I've introduced them all to the delights of the Keswick Mountain Festival. So first I went up for a couple of years, and then after that took a few friends with me, and then after that, thank you, took a few more people each time. So now a group of about 25 of us going up this year. So if you want to come along and say hi, I will be at Keswick Mountain Festival this year, as well as the Love Trails Festival, which is that's on the Gower Peninsula, and that's 13th to the 15th of July this year, and it looks really cool. You can do a load of stuff like you can run to surf, you can run to swim in the sea, and you can also run to pick litter as well, which is a really good new thing that people are starting to get involved with. So right, we just crossed this road. We're just about coming into Stamford now, so in a minute I'm going to turn the camera around, show you some of the buildings. Okay, let's do that now. Okay, so this is the beautiful limestone which Stamford is made of. It can get a bit dirty. If you look at that one over there, that is this is quite a busy road, this one, so it tends to get a bit dirty with all the traffic fumes. But this is the beautiful town of Stamford. So let's go to the high street. It's not far, and these are really cute little houses, little doorsteps straight out onto the street. As you can see, it's been snowing a lot here. That is quite a lot of snow, and it's very unusual for this time of year in the UK for it to be snowing so heavily. It's actually being called the beast from the east, and Snowmageddon hashtag is trending on social media. So everyone here looks happy enough. I'm out running. I'll just tell you what I'm running in. I'm running in a pair of Salomon Speed Cross 4, and these are the Gore-Tex version, which in the snow and in good weather in the snow or the wind, that's probably the only time I would actually wear a Gore-Tex shoe, because any other time water just gets in over the top and then it can't get out again. This is a sweet little cottage, isn't it? So there's quite a lot of tourists that come to this town. That you can just see the spire there of the church. There's loads of churches here. There's also loads of pubs. It said that Stamford has more pubs per capita than most other towns in the UK, and I definitely believe that. So here we are, just coming up to the main street now, and this is Marks and Spencer's on the right, and we're on St George's Street, and I will bob down actually and show you the main street here. So here we go. Looks like something out of a Dickens book, doesn't it? Just modernised. So let's run down the street. This is pedestrianised, so no danger of cars here apart from delivery vehicles. And often you'll get a busker as well, singing or playing a fiddle or a flute. This is the library. So this is where that amazing tapestry is, all about the history of Stamford. And here is an old church that's now a load of shops, and there is the King's Head pub. It's one of my favourite pubs, so if you're ever in Stamford, definitely that is a pub to go in. So then just take you along the main street. There's this church. It's now an opticians and a Nationwide, and there's a street up there as well. When the market comes, there's stalls all up that street, and then stalls some down here, but then most in the parallel street just up that street I just showed you. There's loads of alleyways in Stamford too, so it's a really fun place to explore. There's another alleyway, and we're going to go down one of these alleyways when we go around the corner here. But the buildings are just really, really nice. Like, you've got all the shop fronts down below, but actually the buildings, if you just look a bit higher than eye level, they're really, really quite something. So, right, let's go down here. Oh, it's lucky now. Warming up. Then if you can just see here, there is a golden boy on the top of that building. Now, I don't know what he is. I need to find out. It's the kind of thing that you'd make up a story about for your children, wouldn't you? About him coming out at night and causing some mischief. So there's All Saints Church, really beautiful modern building, and this is Red Lion Square. So this is a place where we sometimes congregate with our running club, and then we're just going to go down this road here and go to the Meadows through one of the alleyways. Ooh, look at that spin drift coming right up from the Meadows. Wow, wasn't expecting this.
Right, the wind.
Right. Okay, so here's another church, yet another church in Stamford. I think this might be St Mary's, and this Fine Foods, this is another really, really nice cafe, just so Italian. It's also really good for coffee after a run, so that's a good place to go. Let's continue with the tour, and then church. Just clear the lens. Jewellery shops. There's some more little shops up there. Up there there's also a really good cheese shop which also sells wine. And we're going to come down now to my absolute favourite restaurant. It's called Zada, and it's a Turkish restaurant, and it's got a Michelin star now, so it's absolutely delicious. Here we go, authentic Turkish cuisine. It's really nice. Let's just see if we can cross over between these cars and have a look in the window. There you go, that's Zada. authentically decked out. Then we've got a music shop. Like, who knew music shops still existed, hey? So got some nice banjos in the window there. And there's a really ancient bookshop here as well. So here we go. This is the old bookshop. Rare books in here, and some rather alarming stuffed birds, which are quite alarming. So there's another church up there as well, so that's leading to the George, but I'm actually going to go round through this alleyway here because it's one of my favourites. St Mary's Passage, look at that, isn't it cool? So this is a Norman arch, so it's believed to be one of the postern gates in the town walls. Isn't that cool? Like, this is a Norman arch and it's still here, right in the centre of the town, and just like, Running Guru says, gosh, this is just like of my previous vlogs. Is it? That's cool. I haven't actually watched them, so this is just me doing a vlog. Maybe I'll watch your vlog and get some more ideas as well. So this is one of the alleyways. You can go down, and we're going to come out onto the Meadows. Yeah. Oh, cool. I'll have to have a look. Right, so here we are. Cool. Oh, cool. Thanks for that, Running Guru. I'll have a look at your stuff. Whereabouts were you walking or running? This is the Meadows here. So we're down now in the Meadows, and this is the River Welland. And this is a place where people play football and fly kites and stuff in the summer, and in the winter everyone's out just taking in the beautiful scenery. Yeah. Well, I just thought, if you can't get out today and if you're stuck in the office, then a little running tour in the snow might be just better than nothing. So there's all these ducks here on the river, and in the spring it's really cute. They have a ton of little tiny fluffy duckling babies, which is very sweet. So just gonna go to the next old monument. So that's the Meadows, and this is the site of Stamford Castle, apparently. So the modern buildings on the left are on the site of Stamford's medieval castle. So let's just have a look at what it would look like. So that's Stamford's medieval castle, and this is St Peter's Green and Hill. Then we're gonna see this in a second, these baths and the Kingsmill. And so yeah, the Normans established a castle here really early on to command this important crossing of the River Welland. So that's cool, isn't it? Such history. So there's another spire, and let's just go and see what this plaque says. This is the site of William the Conqueror's castle, erected in 1068. Ruinous by 1340 and demolished. Oh dear, didn't last long. Right, so then we're going to go to the baths that I showed you on that plaque just then, on that sign. So we'll just get across the way a little bit. Here we go. There's the old baths. In the olden days, when they didn't have their own baths. And this is one of my favourite bits of Stamford. The houses here just have this glorious view across the Meadows, across the River Welland. Really, really beautiful, with these willow trees as well. And wouldn't it be just a treat to live here? So let's just go past these little cottages. We'll go up the cobblestones, then we'll just look at my favourite view and one of the other old parts of Stamford, and then the video will finish. So here we go. This is one of my favourite streets in Stamford. Look at that. It's so pretty. It's on so many different levels, the different houses, and there's a little alleyway just up there as well. Stamford is very good at alleyways, and then it's called St. Peter's Vale. So we'll just run up here. Usually it's cobbled underfoot from just here, and but today the cobbles are covered in snow, so you can't really tell. But usually these cobbles are quite slippery, and this is one of the steeper roads in Stamford, so we often run up here with running club and everyone complains. So just up here we've got some nice, good example here of nice limestone buildings, and this is Kingsmill Lane, and the Kingsmill Bakery is just up there where that van is. Well, we're just going to go left into this beautiful little side street, which is a bit, oh, it's so Christmassy, isn't it, this? Just picture perfect, postcard perfect Christmas in Stamford. Of course it wasn't like this at Christmas at all. It's a lot warmer in December in the UK than all the Christmas cards make out. We don't usually get any snow until about January, but it is quite unusual to have so much snow just so close to March. So everyone's having a snow day today. I've seen loads of kids out off school, which is great. So here we're just coming up to my favourite view in Stamford, just across from Rutland Terrace. So there we go, there's Rutland Terrace, and here is, look at that beautiful view there. That's so nice. That's really good. And so this in this field there used to be a priory in 1342 to the early 16th century. So, and the building behind was Hopkins Hospital. So that was Hopkins Hospital just there in 1770. And then Rutland Terrace is across here. So this is a really good example of a Regency terrace there. And oh, then we're going now just to see St. Peter's Gate and the Bastion. So that's what it looks like. We'll go and see it for real in a minute, and then the video will end. So Stamford had 7 gates in the medieval times, and then they became not very useful as defensive structures in the 18th century. So most of them have gone now. But just look at that view. Isn't that lovely? Hey Pete, thanks for getting your kids to watch as well. That's awesome. I'll wave to them. Hi to Pete's kids. And just going to turn around now again and just go to the the St. Peter's Gate. Away from the dog, which hates me. Okay, so we're just running up now to one of the only surviving gates in Stamford, and here it was the West Tower, or Bastion. So it was the last remaining defence towers to protect the town from invasion by way of St. Peter's Gate, which stood nearby. So today, look at those icicles on it. That's really pretty. That's really nice. So there we are, a medieval gate. The only part of Stamford remaining that's truly original. There we go. Right, so yes, thank you very much for watching this video. It just was a little tour of Stamford and in the snow. It rarely snows in February in Stamford, so just couldn't help but take the opportunity to give you a little snowy tour. So if you're coming to Stamford in the UK, type any questions in the comments below and I'll do my best to help you out. Maybe we can even come to a running club and do a run with the Stamford Striders. That would be awesome. Cool, so enjoy your running in the snow today, whatever you're doing, checking out the Wild Ginger Films blog and Wild Ginger Films YouTube channel for tips and tricks all to do with trail running. Thank you for watching.